Bandwagon Buffs, man. Hell of a game. 2 went for 500. BWB.
Bandwagon Buffs.
That's right.
Buff Nation, what up? BWB, my bandwagon Buffs. What it is, what it does, and what it's gonna be. It's your man's Harry Billion. Family, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. Make sure to give me the thumbs up and don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you can get the videos as soon as I upload it to YouTube. Family, I gotta go ahead and get into this video real quick, so that's all the business I got. You know what time it is. Let's work. The video footage that you are watching is courtesy of @Well of Media. Thank you, Deion Sanders Jr., aka Bucky. All right, so I have a little bit of a black evidence. I'm gonna say black. If you don't like to hear that word black, then I'm sorry for you. But that Cormani Mcclain is going to be staying at Colorado University with Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. The saucy video. Oh, saucy Trav. Oh, man, they still making fun of that dude. Anyway, listen, man, let's go ahead and go to the evidence, and then I'll come back. And don't be afraid of the word black. I know when you hear black, you be like, oh, boy. It sends those little signals to your head, and you're like, it's about to be about race. It's about to be about race. Oh, boy, don't run. It's not that. We celebrate culture. We celebrate who we are. The difference is that we bring to the table. That's what life is all about. That's why we need to get along, okay? Because we're better together. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't understand that, then life is going to be real tough for you, because there are some people who know a lot more about credit and money management than others, okay? Some cultures know that a lot better than other cultures. And then there's some other cultures that know how to season chicken a lot better than other cultures. And it might be nice for us to come together and share resources. Let's go.
We'll go ahead and take a timeout. We're going to continue with Coach Prime here. One more segment. And then Cormani Mcclain. We still on schedule at Cormani.
Cormani's here?
Cormani's going to come up for our last segment.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Let's just pray that he gets here on time. Jesus, Lord Jesus. Lord Jesus, I thought it was over, Lord. You told me it was over 2 games ago, Lord. Please let him get here.
Aiden's supposed to be driving him over here. So we'll take a break. More with Coach Prime after this. This is Colorado Football from there.
I wanted to do this little video because I feel like there's something there, a little bit something there about culture that I wanted to explain to some people. Okay, don't take this the wrong way. You know, I'm not saying that only the black culture does this thing. All right, it's just something that I know that we do. If I can share with you, you may understand a little bit more about our culture and how we deal with each other. You guys remember that earlier on in the season, Coach Prime was asked a question about how Cormani Mcclain was doing. What was going on with Cormani Mcclain? He took a second, he took a breather, and then he said, it's Cormani Mcclain. He's the one that's holding himself back. He's responsible for what's going on. He didn't want to put too much out there. So a lot of us had opinions about what was going on with Cormani Mcclain, his attitude and stuff like that. Cormani Mcclain is coming from high school. You coming from high school, you're coming to college. Your responsibilities are not as much. It was a culture shock when I got to UNC Greensboro. I have a 16-year-old right now that's in high school, okay? Everything that your parents have been telling you, go clean your room, go do this, college is not too far, please go and do those things. But what do? We ignore a lot of those things. When we're young, we just want to go do whatever it is that we're interested in doing. So we ignore a lot of those things that our parents are telling us about the road ahead, the road or whatever pitfalls are coming. Being on time was not Cormani's best suit. Showing up late and stuff like that, I'm sure he did it in high school. Cormani Mcclain being late is just something that he developed while he was in high school. I'm sure his mom, his guardians, they talked to him about it, but it was something that he didn't really take seriously until somebody really pressed him and he was in front of the world, and now he had to deal with it. Just like a lot of things that a lot of us fail to deal with until it smacks us in the face, and now we have to deal with it. What Coach Prime did there when he was like, Lord, oh Lord, I hope he's gonna be early. Oh my goodness, I hope he's gonna be on time. Lord, you told me, Lord, please let him be on time. You know what that tells me? It tells me that Coach Prime and Cormani Mcclain and his family, his mom, they're on good footing. These people have talked, they have had conversations, they have cried together, they've laughed together, they've hugged it out, they have argued, they have said whatever they had to say, and now they are on good footing. There's even evidence of Cormani Mcclain tweeting some stuff or putting some stuff out on social media where he's saying himself that he's locked in. I'm just paraphrasing, but he's saying he's locked in. And then the coach is actually praising Cormani Mcclain, saying Cormani Mcclain has grown up. This is the point of time where we expected him in November, where we expected him to be at when he finally got to the school. The jump to college, It's a major culture shock. It's a culture shock because you're going into new environments where there are other grown people who are more serious about their life than some of the kids that were in high school that were still living with mom and dad. You got grown people making life-changing decisions, and this is serious to them. Not everybody's going to be acting silly. Can y'all please stop showing saucy Trav? This is crazy. Anyway, I'm not saying there are not responsible kids in high school, because there were definitely responsible kids in high school. I don't know if I told you guys a story about Andrea. Andrea was one kid that I can never forget. Andrea, if you're watching, I'm giving you your flowers now. That girl and her family, boy, they studied so hard. She ended up going to an Ivy League school. I couldn't believe why she would not come outside to play or just be playing a little bit more. Yeah, when you're in high school, you're not really thinking about the things that are coming ahead. Like I said, I have a 16-year-old, I'm telling him all the time. Now he's starting to lock in, but earlier on when I was talking to him and I was telling him things, he wasn't really locked in. But now he's starting to understand, like, oh man, I do need to do something about my hygiene. Oh man, I do need to do something about this, because it's starting to get serious. So when you get to the college level, it gets even more serious, because now you got other grown folk. You got some juniors, you got some seniors, some graduate students who this is their last chance to get to where they want to get to, and they're more mature than you. They've already gone through the growing pains of, you know, showing up late, doing all of these things. They're going through all of that, and that's why Coach Prime has that 40-40-20 plan, because you need to have that balance in order for some of these young men to learn from some of these older young men to understand that life is serious. You know, what you do on your current level is going to affect your next level. You know what I'm saying? So Cormani Mcclain, he's learning this interaction, this thing that Coach Prime did, for the lack of better term, it's a body language. It's a we're good language. I'm sure other cultures do it, all right? Other cultures, they have their way of communicating to let us know that we good.
Lord Jesus, I thought it was over, Lord. You told me it was over 2 games ago, Lord. Please let him get him.
All right? That right there shows me and it tells me that we good. Now it's not jolting anymore. Now it's not like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he put me out there like that. Now it's telling me that Cormani Mcclain, he's learned a lesson, and now they can laugh about it. At first, it wasn't a laughing matter, because what you just did in front of the entire world, you just aired out my dirty little secret. If we're not on a certain page, that message is going to land a little different. It's going to feel a little different. It's going to feel confrontational. So the way that I receive that message is probably not going to be in, this is the OG, this is my coach, he's a father figure, and he's trying to get me to understand that the success of my next level is predicated upon my current decisions that I'm making. Coach Prime is always trying to teach these young men that, I understand you're young right now, and the decisions that you make are going to sometimes be boneheaded decisions, but you must understand, you need to make a lot more positive decisions that affect your tomorrow than those boneheaded decisions that you make today that's going to also affect your tomorrow. Mistakes are an inevitable part of life, because we all use mistakes in order for us to move to that next level. Coach Prime understands this very well. He's been coaching from Pee Wee all the way now up to D1 football. So even in his response to finding out that it was some young men who came on a recruiting trip that actually stole the items from that locker room, the way that he handled it is the same way that he's teaching a lot of these young men. He's trying to let you know that you're going to make a lot of boneheaded decisions. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, but let's try our best to minimize the amount of mistakes that we make now on this stage, because it's really going to affect you later on, just in a few days, in a few hours. Like, you have no idea. That is exactly the same thing that happens on the football field. You're thinking like, I just missed that coverage. I just missed that block, but that block that you missed, and you're thinking, oh, I have time because this is just the first or the second quarter. I have the third and the fourth quarter. That's not how this works. That's not how life works. That mistake that you just made is going to affect your third and your fourth quarter. That's what Coach Prime is always trying to instill in these young men, to let them know, don't just make boneheaded mistakes and just think that there's not going to be any consequences, because with every action, there's going to be an equal reaction. There is nothing that we do on this earth that we do not pay for, whether it's good or it's bad. Once the action comes, the reaction is going to follow, whether it comes now or it comes later. That's what Coach Prime is always teaching, and that's why I feel like Cormani is locking in. He's gotten over a certain hump. Their relationship is now a little better. They've gotten to a place now where they can laugh. They've already hugged it out, okay? Mama has already cried. Cormani has already cried behind the scenes. The things that we don't see, those things have already happened. So now you're starting to see a little bit more jovialness about it. You're starting to see a little bit more playfulness, and that's what it's all about. That's where you want to be at. Dude, really? Did you just fall? Really, dude? I'm over here trying to deliver a message and you over here falling like that, bruh? And you causing your team to lose? That is a shame. Good Lord, that is a darn shame. Okay, all right, man, this is too fun. All of these things are very important to this team to make sure that this team is a family. These things are helpful. Life is not that serious. You know, life doesn't have to be always that serious. Life can be fun, all right? I'm glad that Coach Prime is mixing it up and you can see some fun. You know what I'm saying? This is not always like, oh my gosh, you guys are losing, life is over. Like some of the detractors want to make it like, oh my gosh, you're losing. You guys are jokes and you know what I'm saying? You're all entertainment and nothing else. It's like football's supposed to be entertainment, remember? The Gladiators go to the Coliseum and they entertain us. That's what it's supposed to be, but some people forget it's supposed to be all serious. Anyway, I wanted to share that story because I wanted to let you guys know that we communicate a little different. I think it's okay that, you know, we learn about each other. We learn how people move. If you never see some of these things happening, if your next door neighbor never sees how you move, if I don't know how Italians move, if I don't know how Japanese and Vietnamese, how they move, I never went to a multicultural school like I did in Montgomery County, Maryland to understand Vietnamese food and have some of those potlucks where we brought food from different cultures and see how cultures made their food or how even they communicated, then I wouldn't be as well-rounded as I am today. That's why I try to let people know, like, it's not just enough to just say, don't say black because then you make it about color. No, I'm saying black because I want you to know that the way that we deal with each other is a little different and it's okay. So when you see Coach Prime, the way that he moves, it has a lot to do with our culture. And if you don't see that, you're going to keep calling the clown. You don't be that way. Don't be this way. Be just like me. Be just like my culture and do exactly like my culture does things because I don't like your culture. I don't like the way y'all do things. So your culture sucks. Mine's better. The second that you conform to my culture, the second you be just like me, then everything is okay. Then the whole world is going to be all right. Just go ahead and ask married couples how that works out for them. Because when you get into a relationship, you get two different people from two different places who were raised differently. One person is telling the other, be just like me and everything's going to be all right. If you change, then I don't have to change. If you don't say this, then I don't have to say that. And then we're always having this tug of war. That's why marriages don't work a lot because one person is too concentrated on the other person changing so they don't have to change. And that's what culture is all about.
Lord Jesus, I thought it was over, Lord.
It's not that. It's only the black culture that does that. But that was a piece of our culture to let you know that we all right. We all right? Are y'all all right out there? If y'all all right out there, then I'm all right. And I can leave this video right here. Okay? Okay, family, that is all the information that I have for this video. I hope you got a little something out of it. And if you did, please make sure to smash that subscribe button to help this channel grow. That's all I do here. I'm going to have to leave it right there. You know who I am. I'm Harry B. And that right there was the Liberian Perspective. That's TLP Sports Club.